Look, I was completely broke at 25 years old, $40,000 in debt, addicted to drugs, and living in my mom's basement. Fast forward, I now control over $4 billion in real estate and run 7 companies. What changed? Not the economy, not the opportunities, me. What I'm about to share with you contradicts everything you've been taught about success. The middle class will tell you to compete. I'm telling you to dominate. There's a fundamental difference, and that difference is worth millions. As you can see in the thumbnail, me standing in front of my private jet, this isn't about small thinking. This is about 10x thinking. But don't focus on the jet. Focus on what it represents. The freedom that comes from domination, not competition. If you're tired of struggling to get by, hit that like button right now so I know you're committed to what I'm about to share. Because in the next 15 minutes, I'm going to give you the exact formula I used to go from dead broke to controlling billions. Let me drop the first truth bomb. Competition is for average people. When you compete, you're playing someone else's game by someone else's rules. When you dominate, you own the game. Here's what nobody tells you. The effort required to make $50,000 is the same effort required to make $5 million. The only difference is the target you set. Most people aim too low because they're programmed for mediocrity. I remember when I sold cars. Everyone else was trying to sell 8-10 cars a month. I decided to sell 40. They thought I was crazy, but here's what happened. I didn't sell 40. I sold 30. Still 3x what everyone else was doing. Why? Because I aimed higher. If this concept of domination versus competition resonates with you, type dominate in the comments right now. I read every comment, and I want to know who's ready to stop competing and start dominating. Now, stay with me because later in this video, I'm going to reveal the 4 elements of greatness that nobody talks about. These 4 elements are what separate the ultra-successful from everyone else, and they have nothing to do with talent or connections. The second massive truth: success loves preparation. During the 2008 recession, I bought 1,800 apartments when everyone else was running scared. Why? Because I was prepared. I had capital, courage, and a contrarian mindset. Here's the revelation most people miss. Market contractions don't create problems, they expose who wasn't prepared. When the economy tightens, the unprepared get disciplined by the marketplace. Let me ask you, if the market contracted by 30% tomorrow, would you be positioned to capitalize or would you be devastated? Your honest answer reveals everything about your future success. Now, let's talk about the biggest problem most entrepreneurs face: obscurity. Nobody knows who you are, and if they don't know you, they can't buy from you. Here's what to do about it today. Create content like your life depends on it, because your financial life does depend on it. Books, videos, podcasts, social media. But Grant, that doesn't make money directly. Neither does breathing, but try succeeding without it. When I started creating content, I had 0 followers. Today, millions. Content doesn't pay immediately, but obscurity guarantees you'll never get paid what you're worth. I'll give you a personal example. My first book, Sell or Be Sold, took me a year to write. First month sales, embarrassing. But that book has now sold hundreds of thousands of copies and opened doors worth tens of millions. The immediate results were disappointing, but the long-term impact was 10x if you're serious about eliminating obscurity in your life. Hit that subscribe button right now and turn on notifications. I drop content bombs like this weekly, and I don't want you to miss what's coming next. Listen to me carefully. If you're not leveraging every technological tool available to dominate your space, you're committing financial suicide. I don't have time for social media, Grant. Really? You don't have time for millions of free prospects. You don't have time for global reach at 0 cost. That's like saying you don't have time to pick up free money. The problem isn't technology, it's your outdated thinking about technology. Social media isn't optional, it's mandatory for domination. Here's your action step. Identify the 3 platforms where your ideal customers spend time and commit to creating daily content on each for the next 90 days. No excuses. This isn't about likes, it's about becoming omnipresent in your space. Now about targets. Most people set targets way too low. They think they're being realistic. Realistic is a code word for average. I'd rather set a target so big that I miss it but still outperform everyone else who's playing small. Remember this. The target you set is a decision about who you want to become. Set a $50,000 target, you become a $50,000 person. Set a $5 million target, you become a different person entirely. If you're feeling this message on targets, give me a 10x in the comments right now. I want to see who's ready to expand their thinking. And stay tuned, because in just a few minutes, I'm going to reveal the success formula that explains why some people push through criticism while others get stopped by the first negative comment. Now, as promised, I'm going to give you the 4 elements of greatness. These are non-negotiable. You either embrace all 4 or you settle for mediocrity. I remember when I was starting my first business. I worked 95 hours a week, no days off, no vacations. Was it hard? Yes. But I was immersed, dedicated, committed, and driven by duty. I wasn't working for money, I was working for freedom. If these 4 elements resonate with you, screenshot this part of the video and post it somewhere you'll see it daily. Tag me on social media when you do, and I'll personally check it out. Here's the success formula nobody teaches. First, you get attention. Then you receive criticism. Push through that, you'll get hate. Persist further, and finally, you reach admiration. Most people quit at criticism. They get a few negative comments and think, this isn't worth it. But those who push through to admiration reap rewards beyond imagination. Let me tell you about certainty, the most powerful force in sales and life. When you are absolutely certain about your value, your products, and what you offer, you become unstoppable. The biggest problem I see with salespeople isn't their technique, it's their lack of certainty. They have doubt, and customers can smell doubt like sharks smell blood. Here's the revelation. Certainty isn't something you're born with. It's something you develop through immersion, preparation, and results. The more you know, the more certain you become. The more results you produce, the more your certainty grows. Your action step today. Identify one area where you lack certainty and commit to becoming the most knowledgeable person in that domain within 90 days. Read every book, take every course, practice every scenario until your certainty is unshakable. Let me wrap this up with something critical. Everything I've shared today, domination, preparation, obscurity, technology, targets, the 4 elements, the success formula, certainty, these aren't just concepts. They're the exact principles I've used to build my empire. The question isn't whether these principles work. They do. The question is, will you work them? Most won't. Most will watch this video, feel motivated for an hour, then go back to their comfortable routines. But I know some of you, maybe just 10%, will take this information and use it to transform your life. If you're in that 10%, I want to hear from you. Comment below with the exact date you commit to implementing your first domination strategy. Put it in writing. Make it public. Hold yourself accountable. And if this video gave you value, smash that like button, share it with someone who needs to hear this message, and subscribe for more content that will help you 10x your life. Remember, success is not a choice, it's a duty. Now go dominate your space.